It's 6:50 a.m. on a Tuesday. The alarm's been going for 11 minutes. Your phone is already lit up. 9 emails since midnight. 3 from your manager, Richard. He doesn't sleep. He expects you don't either. You sit up. Read the one sent at 11:47 p.m. Quick follow-up before EOD tomorrow. You haven't even brushed your teeth and you're already behind. 20 minutes later, you're in the same 15 minutes of traffic you sit in every morning. Same exit, same parking deck, level 3. You badge in, 6th floor, Farrington and Hale Wealth Management, Charlotte, North Carolina. You sit down at your desk, open Excel, start pulling numbers for an account that isn't yours, for people who will retire long before you ever will. And somewhere under all of it, a small, tired voice asks the same question it's been asking for a while now. Is this it? Let's go back. You're 23. You just graduated from UNC Charlotte with a degree in finance. It made sense at the time. Your dad was proud, your advisor called it recession-proof, and you had $34,000 in student loans waiting to be paid off starting the month after graduation. You had a job offer before you even walked the stage. Financial analyst, Farrington and Hale Wealth Management. Your first day is a Monday in June. You wear a suit you bought at the outlet mall for $89. It's a little big in the shoulders. You don't care. You have a badge with your name on it, and that feels like it means something. The office has glass walls and gray cubicles and the low hum of 100 keyboards running at once. A woman named Diane from HR walks you around, shows you the 2 microwaves, the supply closet, where the good coffee machine is hidden so the interns don't find it. Your desk is in the middle of the floor, not near a window, just in the middle like everyone else's. Your manager is Richard, mid-40s, always in a meeting, always on his phone, drives a black Tahoe he mentions more than you'd expect. He teaches you the job in the first few weeks, how to build the quarterly reports, how to log client calls, how to end every email with, "I hope this finds you well." You'll type that sentence hundreds of times over the next few years and never once mean it. Year 1 is fine, honestly. You're learning something new every week. You're making $54,000 a year, about $3,400 a month after taxes. Rent is $1,150. The loan payment is $310. Your car is $380. By the time you've eaten and paid your phone bill, there's maybe $400 left, and it usually disappears before the month does. But you're 23. You figure that's just what year 1 looks like for everybody. Your days fall into a shape fast. Mornings are emails and client calls. Afternoons are meetings. Meetings about upcoming projects, meetings about other meetings, meetings that could have been a 2-line email but never are. You learn the vocabulary without meaning to. Let's circle back. Take it offline. Low-hanging fruit. Words that don't really mean anything but sound like they do. That's the whole point of them. Year 2, the job stops teaching you anything new. You could build the quarterly reports with your eyes closed now. You could sit through Richard's Monday meeting without hearing a single word of it and still know exactly what he wants. You start noticing the clock more than the work. 9:40, 11:15, 1:30. The day moves like it's being poured through a straw, one slow drop at a time. You bring an idea to Richard, a simpler way to track client check-ins, something that would save the whole team a few hours a week. He looks at it for maybe 4 seconds. Interesting. Let's not fix what isn't broken. You go back to your desk. You don't bring up another idea for a long time after that. You start noticing the people around you differently. Some of them have been at Farrington and Hale for 12 years, 15 years. Same desks, same reports, more gray hair, same everything else. You do the math without meaning to. If this is what 15 years here looks like, you don't want 15 years. You look in the mirror one morning and you look tired in a way that doesn't match your age. You're 25. You start to wonder quietly if this is actually all there is. Year 3 is when it cracks open. You're at a happy hour with coworkers, same bar, same round of drinks, same conversation you've had a dozen times before. And a coworker named Priya tells the same story she's told at least twice already. Everyone laughs in the same places they always do. And you realize something, sitting there with a beer going warm in your hand, nobody at this table is happy. They're just used to it. And used to it isn't the same thing as fine. You go home that night and you don't sleep much. You open your laptop around midnight and start searching. How to save money on a normal salary. Index fund investing for beginners. What is financial independence? You fall down that hole until almost 2 a.m., and somewhere in it, something clicks. You don't need to get rich, you need options. And options cost money. Money you've never actually had, not because you don't earn enough, but because you've never once looked at where yours goes. So you build a spreadsheet, every dollar logged, no exceptions. The first month is almost embarrassing to look at. $165 a month on takeout coffee and lunch you don't remember buying. $38 on an app subscription you forgot existed. $60 a month on a gym you've been to twice since January. You start cutting. You cancel what you don't use. You buy a $34 coffee maker that pays for itself in about 3 weeks. You start packing lunch the night before instead of grabbing something on the way in. Your spending drops by almost $300 a month, and you didn't have to earn a single extra dollar to do it. You just had to actually look. Next, you open a high-yield savings account paying 4.5%. You'd had $4,800 sitting in a regular checking account earning almost nothing. You move it over in about 10 minutes and feel a little stupid for not doing it years ago. Then, you open a Roth IRA. You start putting $250 a month into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, and you make yourself a promise not to touch it. You don't try to time the market. You don't panic when it dips. You just buy every single month and let it sit there and grow on its own. Around the same time, almost by accident, you start flipping furniture on weekends. It starts with a scratched dresser from a moving sale. $45, cleaned up and given a fresh coat of stain, resold for $160 a week later. Then, a set of dining chairs, $60 turned into $220. You're not doing this full time. You're doing it in your apartment's parking lot on Saturday mornings with sandpaper and a can of stain and a phone propped up for photos. By the end of year 3, between the cuts, the index fund, and the flipping, you're saving somewhere around $700 a month. More money moving in your direction than you've ever had at once. You still hate Mondays just as much as you did before, but for the first time, Mondays don't feel permanent anymore. Year 4, you sit down and do the real math for the first time. Current savings and investments, $19,000. The number you'd need to feel safe enough to actually leave. 6 months of expenses with room to breathe. $45,000. Your combined monthly savings rate, job plus flipping, about $1,600. $45,000 minus $19,000 is $26,000. At $1,600 a month, that's 16 months. 16 months. You sit there staring at that number for a long time. For the first time in 4 years, you can actually see the end of something. You keep the job. You keep flipping furniture on weekends. You've gotten good at it now. Know which finishes sell fast. Know which pieces to walk away from at an estate sale, no matter how cheap they are. You start picking up small consulting work on the side, too. A local dentist's office needs help organizing their books. A landscaping company needs a better invoicing system than the sticky notes they've been using. It isn't glamorous work. It's real money, though. $300 here, $500 there, deposited by people who actually say thank you. You stop volunteering for extra projects at Farrington and Hale. You do exactly what's asked of you and nothing more. Richard notices. Everything okay? You've seemed checked out lately. Just tired, you say. He nods and walks away. He doesn't ask again. He was never really asking about you. He was asking if the reports were still coming in on time. They were. They always were. You hit $45,000 4 months ahead of schedule. You sit there refreshing the number in your investment app 3 times just to make sure it's real. You go into Richard's office on a Wednesday morning. You sit down across from his desk before he even looks up from his monitor. "I'm putting in my 2 weeks," you say. He blinks, asks if you have something else lined up. "No," you say. He asks if you're taking some kind of break. "Kind of," you say. He offers you a raise on the spot, the first one you've been offered in 2 years, sitting right there in front of you, 4 years too late. You say no thank you. You clean out your desk that same afternoon. A photo, a coffee mug, a small plant somebody left behind years before you got there that you've kept alive out of pure spite. You put it all in one box. It doesn't take long. 6 years of somebody else's job doesn't actually leave much behind. A coworker named Priya asks if you're really doing this. "Yeah," you say. Just like that? You nod. You don't really have a better answer for her, and you don't try to find one. You take the stairs down instead of the elevator, all 6 flights. You want to feel every single one of them on the way out. You get in the Camry at 10:15 on a Wednesday morning. There's no traffic at all. Everyone else is still at their desks, exactly where you were an hour ago. You drive past the building once more before you turn the corner. You don't look back after that. That was 7 months ago. You still work. More, some weeks if you're being honest. But it's yours now, all of it. And that changes something about how it feels in your body at the end of the day. The furniture flipping turned into an actual small business. You buy from estate sales and marketplace listings now instead of just moving sales, and some months it brings in more, after taxes, than the analyst job ever did. You know which fabrics clean up well and which don't. You know which sellers are worth calling back. It stopped being a side hustle somewhere around month 3 and became the thing you actually plan your week around. The bookkeeping and invoicing consulting grew too. 4 regular clients now. Small businesses around Charlotte who pay on time and actually pick up the phone when you call. You built a couple of simple spreadsheet templates for other small business owners along the way and started selling them online for $19 a piece. It's not much on its own, but it's money that shows up in months you didn't do anything new to earn it, and there's something about that particular kind of income that feels different from a paycheck. Quieter, yours. Your investments kept growing too, the whole time, in the background, the way index funds do when you leave them alone. You're past $60,000 now, between the Roth and a taxable brokerage account you opened once you finally had some breathing room. You didn't do anything clever with it. You just kept buying every month and let time do what it does. You still drive the same Camry. You still live in the same apartment, the same 1-bedroom with the beige walls you moved into at 23. Your expenses haven't really gone up at all, even with more money coming in than you've ever had. You learned a while back that spending more doesn't fix the thing you were actually trying to spend your way out of. Control does. Room to breathe does. Waking up without an alarm some mornings does more for you than anything you could buy. Sometimes you see old coworkers post something on LinkedIn, a work anniversary, a proud to announce about a project you know for a fact they hated being assigned to. You don't feel superior when you see it. You just feel a kind of recognition. That was you, 14 months ago, writing posts like that about projects you didn't care about either. You could still be there right now if you'd made one different choice. 1 fewer Saturday spent sanding down a dresser, 1 less month of actually sitting down and looking at where your money went instead of looking away from it. Nobody at Farrington and Hale ever really understood what you were doing those 4 years. They thought you were tired, bored, going through something. Nobody knew you'd been quietly building an exit the entire time, a little at a time, mostly in hours nobody was watching. A Saturday morning here, a canceled subscription there, a spreadsheet you actually opened instead of ignored. That's the part nobody tells you about getting out. It doesn't happen with an announcement. There's no dramatic resignation speech, no big goodbye, no one clapping on your way to the elevator. It happens quietly in the margins. 30 fewer dollars spent this month, 1 more Saturday spent building something that's actually yours, 1 number in a spreadsheet that keeps climbing whether you're watching it or not. The rat race isn't really a race at all. It's a maze built to make you believe the only way through is faster and longer, more hours, more meetings, more emails answered at midnight. But the way out was never faster. It was sideways. Spend a little less than you make, put the difference somewhere that grows on its own, and build something small on the side that actually belongs to you. You didn't win by outworking anyone at Farrington and Hale. You won by slowing down enough, one ordinary Tuesday, to actually notice the exit had been there the whole time. And one Wednesday morning 7 months ago now, you woke up without an alarm, made coffee in your own kitchen, looked around your same apartment with your same furniture, and realized you were out. And nobody even noticed.